We knew that we needed to build some core capabilities that we didn't have back then, but also on having people that were really used to the language of data, spreading around the organization to really capture the opportunities that were there.
I am your host, Pat McCarthy, and this is Transformation Architects. Welcome to Transformation Architects, a video series from Google where we examine how the most visionary leaders of today use technology to catalyze business evolution. Throughout this series, we engage with thought leaders and change agents from globally recognized organizations to discuss their AI-driven journeys. In today's episode, I'm very pleased to be joined by Juliana Rios, CIO from LATAM Airlines.
I'm very happy to be here.
Juliana, so first of all, I'd love for you to expand on your role inside of LATAM Airlines.
I'm in charge of really transforming a traditional 100-year-old airline into becoming a digital organization.
Yeah.
And then we do that by making sure that we are on top of the technology through everything that is available today, right? Cloud, data, AI, and embedding all of that in the day-to-day of the business.
What did you do before IT?
Oh, yes. So before IT, I was always in the business side.
Yeah.
I didn't really start my career in IT. So I was used for many years to be the one writing the requirements or designing what I wanted the system to do, but not really understanding or being on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
So I shifted to IT in 2017. And it was with this idea of already thinking on how do we bring IT and business together. Yeah. And it has been a great adventure since then.
Yeah, that's a great background to come in and drive transformation. You feel like a digital native company now. I know you didn't start that way, but can you talk a little bit about kind of how you've made these tremendous leaps in AI, in innovation and adoption across the organization?
So back in 2018, I think, we already migrated the whole company to use the digital workspace suite. And this was, maybe we didn't know by then, but this was a very important step into really boosting the collaboration and change the way we work with technology inside LATAM. Just after that, we took the decision to go fully on cloud, which was also a very important strategic move. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we put together the first digital teams and the first data teams. Okay. That really started to explore and work in a different way. That's when we learned about agility and different ways of working. And then we kind of broke the wall between business and technology, and really by sitting them together.
Juliana, you've mentioned digital teams a few times. Can you expand on and maybe to give us a little bit of a better understanding of digital teams and what that means?
Yes, we have to remember that we came from a history in which the business was in one side and IT was something else. What we call digital teams is the teams in which we put together people from the business. We pull people from the business, but we also pull people from IT. And then we create one team that it's multidisciplinary. Yeah. Before, the people from IT were not really worried about understanding the business side and what is the problem that they're trying to solve. They were always expecting someone to tell them what to do. And in the business side, it was also never really needed to understand technology, but now they also need to understand more. So they have to meet in between.
Because you're in a regulated industry and because you're, moving people around the world, how do you balance the things around really driving innovation, but making sure what you're doing is going to deliver the right outcome for the customers?
Yes, what we have been doing is being very careful. So one thing is putting technology on processes, right? So it's automating things. Yeah. And that is usually, in a way, simpler, right? Because we take what is there and then you automate somehow. And we do a lot of that. But what we really like doing, it's not really that. It's really rethinking. So can we really redesign this journey? Can we really rethink this process? Do we need to do this? But that's a question that we don't ask much, right? So this is really necessary. So when you are in a level of transformation that it's more challenging the status quo in an industry like ours, then of course we have to be more careful. So we have to be sure that whatever decision you take, it is not really going to jeopardize anything. Yeah. One good example, maybe, it's the second transformation we did was with the aircraft maintenance team. Before, we used to have a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of even manual controls in order to do that. But then we said, what if we can model everything? And what if we can put all the variables in one place and have this very complex algorithm that can tell us what is the best way? So we did it, and then we had to bring very specific people with data science skills, like PhDs and everything, to really help us model that. And then, but we managed to do.
Yeah.
And then just to give you an idea, we won by now, 3 years later, we have won something like almost 3.5 aircrafts without buying any new aircraft, just by optimizing the schedule of the maintenance.
It sounds like you started building the scaffolding back in 2018, and because you were saying we needed collaboration, cross business, and you had a data team at that same time. So your ability to adopt AI really started because you put some work in back in 2018.
Yes, our inspiration back then was the digital native companies. I think everybody could see, right, that how fast they could really react to and force change. When AI came, we had the condition, we had a lot of the foundations that were needed.
Yeah.
So we have our own sort of LLM, in a way, of course, powered in the back by Google and by other partners. But we have our own space in which, since 3 years ago, everybody in the company had access to.
Wow.
So, and there's a lot of very beautiful use cases from crew members, for example, that built something that made their lives easier during the work, and then they share that solution to someone else.
When you're asking the organization to invest in something, what's the standard of practice related to financial impact or return on investment?
One of the things that we put together 4 years ago is a continuous funding process. It was one of the things that we had to negotiate in order to move faster with the digital teams, is having a way to not to have to build a business case before testing or experimenting a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Now we understand that if we improve the customer satisfaction, the customer experience, then the customer is going to want to fly again with LATAM.
Yes.
So then the result's going to come.
I think that's also just a great indicator of trust, organizational trust that you've built, between IT and the business, your CFO, your CEO. Juliana, I want to say thank you very much for telling your story, for the inspiration that you provided me and everybody that's watching this. I want to thank all of you so much for tuning in. Our mission with this series is to take these ideas off the whiteboard and into the real world. Every episode is designed to give you the concrete strategies needed to clear hurdles and drive transformation at scale inside of your organizations. Don't forget to subscribe to the Transformation Architects and to join us for the next installment. We'll see you all again soon.